I suspect a majority of people, if you do the statistics on why people are dying that are wealthy, heart problems, bet you any money, or cancer. And they're not even seeing how they're creating their own illnesses. They'll think that, the medical, especially freaking Bibles. Had a conversation with one guy that said the only way to get to God is without the body. And not with the body. That would be a big, huge sin if you get to God with the body. That's why all humans must die, according to Christians or according to people that believe in the Bible. So it's like I tried to have that conversation, and it's like as soon as the conversation was flowing, really, really open guy that really wanted to teach me. So I was like, I want to learn. Teach me what it is you know. Just make some sense out of it. Because it seems to me that the only way we're dying is because of our actions and our unawareness of our actions and what it is that we are creating within our own minds. When we think we got a good idea, do you know that good idea is going to kill you? It might take you 15 years to die from that idea. That idea will kill you. And why? If you're believing in a Bible, then, you are in agreement with some text that says you gotta die. And who's the one that wants you dead? Isn't it Satan that wants you dead? Isn't it Satan that wants you to sin? Isn't it Satan that wants everything to be, he manipulates you in the best ways possible? And, we used to have this belief that evil can't go into a church, that the cross will protect you, and there's no way evil can enter in a building of God. And it's like, evil's a lot more creative than that. Evil's like making the rules on how evil cannot go. As long as evil says, I can never do this, I'm not powerful enough to do this, puts it in a book, and you'll believe it, that God is this powerful that he can make evil not go into a book or not go into a church. And it's like, those are evil's words. Evil's telling you that. Because then evil plays the masterful game of saying, okay, now you're going to think that it's me, God, talking. As long as I can say, I look like God, I talk like God, I write a book about God, then you're going to believe I'm God. And that's why, if you really can see truth should make sense to you. And if you gain enough information, you start to be able to see contradictions. Lots of contradictions in the Bibles. And there ain't one Bible that's any good, because they're all fragments of truth. You want to find out more about God, put all of these books together and get rid of all of the contradictions, and then you'll really know what God looks like. Because our Bible's like a piece of the puzzle to God. But there's something else that doesn't make any sense. Who the hell is writing these books? They're like holy men that have been inspired. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. And the Bible also says you can't change these words. So, in actual fact, somebody that's writing books is saying, you can't change the Bible. So that means that, okay, Satan says, if I write this book down, nobody can change it because it's God's word. So nobody will ever question it. It's the perfect programming because you're going to believe the book says it can't be changed. You got priests having sex with kids. So clearly Satan went, is the preacher of God's words. And you don't think somebody that's writing a book can be exactly like a priest having sex with children? At what point are you going to wake up to your books are causing wars, your books are motivating you to kill yourself? Because after all, at the end of the day, Jesus didn't die. He ascended. But we as humans think we gotta die. Most Christians that think they're doing the right thing get big paychecks and thinks God rewards. God ain't rewarding you with shit if you got a big house. That would be Satan tempting you. Because if you got more than anybody else, then you feel that you need to be on top of a mountain. You need to be better than everybody else. And it's like, you're only friggin' human. You're no different than the guy that's homeless, alcoholic on the street. I'd rather go for the guy that's homeless on the street that is in so much pain that nobody else sees, that we're all connected here. Anybody you see on the streets, depressed or on drugs, they're really depressed on drugs that you would make them suffer so that you could get rich. They may not be able to put the words together, but the reality is there. They've all been abused of some kind, and that abuse is very painful. And when you've been abused and dealing with that pain, and then you go for help, and then you find out there is no help, you'll go to a church and they'll abuse you more. You go to a non-profit and they'll say, well, we haven't got enough to go around for everybody, so that means you'll never get saved. The only person that gets saved is the CEO that's making a couple of million per year. Have you ever kind of noticed that? Where's Red Cross? You know, what's Red Cross doing to help Japan? No, they only show up when the big catastrophes there. Go and donate to Red Cross. But what is Red Cross actually doing? There is some stories out of the Bible, you know, where God fed, thousands, or Jesus fed thousands of people with one bread and one fish. Like, there is something to that story. But while we're greedy and think there's not enough, we don't know how to make things be enough. We don't know how to help somebody with $1 and actually make that dollar be helpful. So all of these CEOs that are managing money and saying they're doing such a great job because they have a piece of paper from, you know, the corporate structure that structured your education systems to say everything that you do that's wrong is actually right, and here's the certificate that says you're right about doing everything wrong and you deserve a lot of money. They're doing everything wrong. The only thing they're doing is patting themselves on the back saying, I'm really good for managing all of this money, and I ain't fucking helping anybody, and I'm still looking good while I do it. So it's kind of insane. I'll continue on another tape.